Hi everyone, it's Kathy, the Backyard Stamper, and tonight we're going to do a really fun card from using the bundle More Than Autumn by Stampin' Up. So let me just make sure that I'm live. Okay, and then I can see your comments, so that's great. Okay, so this bundle, this is my host code for October, and I'll talk more about my card kit, my free card class that if you use my host code and order $40 or more. So let me talk about that in a little bit. This More Than Autumn bundle is in our September to December mini catalog. And the bundle is $47.50. When you buy the stamp set and the dies at the same time, you save 10% on both. So it's always a good idea to get a bundle if you can. So this is the bundle we're going to use. And I have had so much fun playing with this. And I have a bunch of samples to show you when we're all done tonight's card. So this is the card we're going to make. Fall is the best. Let's celebrate pumpkin season. And it doesn't really take a lot of supplies. So I'll show you from the beginning how I used, what supplies I used. So these are my cut pieces and my dies. Okay, so that goes there. But let me show you how I cut my paper down. So let me introduce myself. I'm Kathy Schmitt. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in New Hampshire. I do in-person classes at my house twice a month. Plus, I have a free online class for anyone who's eligible for it by purchasing $40 or more in my Stampin' Up store. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for jumping on with me. Yay. Okay, so I've got a thick piece of basic white. And what I'm going to do is score this at the normal 4 1/4. Okay, then I'm going to slide it over and cut off 1 1/4. So I am using the side over here. So I've got my 1 inch right here, and I'm going to the 1/4 inch past that, and I'm going to cut that off. This way you make 2 cards at the same time. Okay, so we have that. And then I'm going to rotate it and cut it at 5 1/2. And that's going to give me my cut and scored piece that has the right dimension. All right, so now we've got an extra one. And then what I'm going to do is take this piece I cut off and let me cut that at 5 3/8. So just a wee bit smaller than the 5 1/2. And I'm going to cut it at 1 inch. So I'm going to cut the full 1/4 off. So this way you don't have any waste on your cardstock. Okay, so, and that is that. So this is for the second card. This was my other pieces. All right. So we're going to set these aside for a little bit. That's going to create this part right here. We'll set those aside. And let me show you how I stamped and cut out my mug and donut and little pumpkin. So what I did was I mounted it on to the block, and I stamped it all in Memento black ink, except it looks like I did my whipped topping in pecan pie. So let's do that. There. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp this right here on this piece. This piece is 2 1/8 by 4 1/4. Let me just make sure. Yep, 2 1/8. So if you're taking a sheet of cardstock, you would cut it the portrait side right down the middle at 4 1/4, and then turn and cut 2 1/8. So you get a whole bunch of these size pieces. So then let me just open my chamois. I'll put that down there. Okay. So now I'm going to color, and this card really only takes a couple of blends. So I've got my crumb cake, and I've got a pool party, and I have a pecan pie. Light and dark crumb cake and pecan pie. So let's do my, let's see here. I did more than one, so I got confused on which colors I used. Okay, so I'm going to do my dark crumb cake on the cup. Just kind of going around the outside. Okay, and I am going to come in with the light crumb cake now and do my little circles to blend it all in. Cindy, do you have fall foliage in Montana like we do in New England? And for my pool party, I'm just coloring the whole shebang. One of the things I like about the blends is, see how you get like marker lines like that? That will actually go away as it dries. Where the Stampin' Write markers, if I were to color like that, it would stay. So, okay, and then I'm going to take, oh, my daughter got married last weekend, and the fall foliage was pretty. It wasn't at peak, but the day was beautiful weather, and it was a lovely day. So it's very much fun. Okay, so I'm just making my donut have pecan pie, the cake part. All right, and then my, let's see here, this is my, let me get my pumpkin pie. Oh, I put it away. Okay, so we'll start with the light pumpkin pie because I don't remember how dark this was. Oh yeah, that's going to be plenty dark. So we'll go ahead and we'll do all around with the light pumpkin pie. There's a lot of pie going on. You got peach pie, you got pecan pie, you got pumpkin pie. All right, so, and then I think I'm going to just take my dark right here, my dark one, and just kind of hit those spots a little bit and give it some little bit of fun. There. All right, and then I'm almost done with the coloring. What I like to do is take on my whipped topping, or even on snowman, I do the same thing. I take my pool party and I just go right inside along the line. And it dries very subtly, but you'll end up with a little bit of definition to your whipped topping. That was the light pool party. All right, so my coloring is done, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my dies on here. And for the donut, there's like a little bump out right there and a smaller one on the other side. So let's see here. Okay. And if you will just excuse me for 1 second, we had a little plumbing issue and the plumbing guy just showed up. So let me just go let him in and I'll be right back. So sorry. I'm back. Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. So my husband scheduled a, a plumber to come. And I said, well, tell him, you told him I go live at 6 o'clock. And he goes, oh, I think I forgot that part. Meanwhile, my husband went golfing. So I debated whether or not to let him in, to tell you the truth. But my ceiling is dripping. It's in my stamping area that I held my classes. So I got to get it fixed. So I'm so sorry that I just ran off on you like that. Okay, so there's my little cutouts. That's all the die cutting that we have to do. Oh, there was one more, but we're going to just wing it. So by putting the shapes on the block like that, you actually, you're not wasting a crank, I call it. let me just shut my pecan pie up. Oh, I'm going to use that in just a second. So I need to stamp a little pumpkin too. This is the part I forgot to. You can also fit the die for the pumpkin on, but we are just going to quickly fussy cut it. Oh, thanks, Cindy. The weather was, you know, it was an outdoor wedding, so, you know, the weather was a little bit of a stress factor, but it was beautiful. The whole weekend was absolutely perfect New Hampshire fall weather. It was beautiful. She looked beautiful. We all had a good time. So, yeah. First one married. It feels kind of weird, but she is hasn't lived at home for a while because she went away to school and then stayed in New York City. So okay, so now what I want to do is I am going to color my pumpkin with my light pumpkin pie, and I stamped it in pumpkin pie, so that's okay. Hopefully the plumbing guy doesn't want to come back on Saturday to fix it, because I'm going to have people in the way. All right, so I got that. Let me just do the rest of my stamping, and then we'll have this out of the way. So sorry, now the dog's barking. All right, so I put on my block, fall is the best. And then on the inside, I did let's celebrate. And then if people from my class don't like the, you know, don't want to say pumpkin season, they can still just leave it as let's celebrate. So before we do this part, let's do a little bit of blending. So I'm going to bring out my pumpkin pie again. And blending brush right here. So I'm just going to load up my brush, and then I kind of tap it in the lid and use that as my swirly. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color to this white. Just a light touch. And then remember this little side strip that we had? We're going to stamp our pumpkins all the way down randomly. So you want to make sure you're turning so all your pumpkins don't line up. So this card is a little bit of a fun fold, but not a fancy fold. Just a little fun to go with our pumpkin. All right, so we've got that one. And then I'm going to do the same thing and load up my brush, tap it into the lid, and swirl it on. And I don't want it too dark, just a little bit. There. So I might just do a little bit more along the edge here. Just like that. All right, now we're done with our ink, and then we're going to, let me get my glue mat here, move that out of the way. So what we need to do, this is a piece of peach pie glimmer paper. So it's from the In Color, the 2024 to 2026 In Color glimmer paper pack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a thin line of glue on one side, and I'm going to use my baby bottle of glue just so I can keep it thin. And it is a little bit longer than it needs to be, so I'm going to just trim off the excess, but I'm just going to put that down and try to keep it straight. Okay, so let's try that again. There. Okay, so I'm going to leave that right like that. I'll put my block on, and let's do the top of my pumpkin latte. So I just ran a little bit of glue, and then I'm going to have my foam or whipped cream kind of coming out on the top. So that's good. We'll do that. And I'll put my block down on that one too. Okay, and then I stamped my words, and my favorite thing to do is just whack it off there like that. I don't really like the way that's stamped. It looks a little funny to me. So let me see if I have my stamp right here. Let me do it again because it looks a little grainy. Okay, there we go. I think that looks better. All right, and then now I'm going to whack it off on an angle, just like that. I try to keep them sort of slanted the same direction. There. Get all this out of the way and get that out of the way. This card is rolling right along. Now I need my dimensionals, which are right here. And we'll put stuff up on that, so we're all ready to do our assembly. Because I can't wait to show you my samples. Oh my gosh, I've had so much fun with this set. At first, I wasn't sure that I wanted to get it because there's a lot of parts and pieces to it. And, you know, I don't always like to use sets that have lots of parts and pieces. But in this case, I did really like it. We have a lovely apple orchard, Apple Hill Farm, right down the road from us, and they have all kinds of pick your own fruit, and then they also sell vegetables, and they've got their pumpkins out. So now I'm going to take this piece and I'm just going to trim that little edge there. And then I'm going to, let me move this out of the way here. Use my glue again. And because I only cut it like with an 1/8, it's a little skinny. Now you do want to make sure you put your piece here on first before you do your inside stamping, because otherwise you might have your Let's Celebrate too far over. So we'll do that. Now we'll do Let's Celebrate, and if you mess up, you can always take a piece of white and cover it, which is what I had to do here. So, just saying. And we're going to do pumpkin season in the pumpkin pie. All right, just like that. Isn't that cute? Ooh. All right, and then let me close this up. We'll build the front, and I will show you my samples. So what I did here was I didn't want this just kind of floating like that, so I took a piece of vellum and just punched a circle with my 2 3/8 inch punch. So I have that, and that can just go down with seal. And the seal shows through the vellum, but you just want to, you know, put it where it's not going to bother, because it'll have other things on it. And we will pop this up, and I'm going to pop up my donut, and I'm going to pop up my little baby pumpkin there, and I'm just going to cut a dimensional down because it's just a baby. All right. All right, so here we go. We got our pumpkin latte first. And you know what? I forgot my sprinkles. Oh, gotta get my sprinkles. Hold on. Let me just bring my little scrap in here again. Oh, there we go. Oh, and I had taken the backing off of that dimensional too. I should have used my glue mat. Then it wouldn't have stuck like that. All right, well, we survived. Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one, Cindy. That's what it is. Sometimes you have to see the possibilities. Others speak to me right away, and I know I just gotta have it. All right, so I'm just gonna put it like that. And I'm gonna put my donut next to it. And I'm gonna have a little bit overlapping, so I only put 2 dimensionals on. So I'm going to add a dab of glue right there. Okay, and then my baby pumpkin. Ooh, look at how fun that looks. Isn't that great? And then, I close this up. I have some sparkles, and we can use the in color gems. Let's see here. We want sparkly ones, or do we want the flat ones? I think I kind of like the flat ones for this because I already got sparkles there, and that looks a little bit more orange to me than these do. So I'm going to use my take your pick tool to pick them up. Oops, got to get a little more putty. Straighten up the putty. So there. Okay, so I had like one there. I love how these feel. They're a little, to me, they feel squishy. Like one of those stress balls. Let's see here. I want to put one there. And I think I'll just do a third one there. They're kind of in a line, which I did not want. So let me see if I can move that one. There. There. So fun. And then you got to have your Wink of Stella to finish it off. Now, I did refill my Wink of Stellas, as you probably know. I do that. And it came out really fast. So I have a little tip for that. If you're going to refill, just got to put my cap on my glue, is normally when you're applying your Wink of Stella, you paint it on like this with the brush down. So, ow, that hurt. So it's flowing this way. But in this case, because this one got so wet, I'm going to keep it up and paint up like that. And I can control my glitter a lot better. See how it's coming out? But if you get the glitter blob, you know it's a glitter blob. There's no hiding from it. So, and we'll just do everything here. I just really wanted to make sure that whip topping and the donut are super shiny. There. All right. So here's our card. Here's our original. Looks pretty good. I used different gems on that one. Which one do you like better? The flat colored ones or the sparkly ones? I think maybe if I move that over. Oh, it's going to stay there. Oh well, it is what it is, right? So let me show you my samples that I made. These are not all of my ideas, just so you know. Okay, so I did the same layout with apples, So here's my fall is the best. Let's celebrate apple cider donut season. Yum. I colored that a little bit too dark there, but I might color in some of my apples to help bring that down. So that's apple cider. And then I have my pumpkin one, which this one is my mess up that I covered up. So there's that one. And then here's a peppermint one, or candy cane peppermints. And may your days be merry and bright comes from the Christmas star. And I didn't do anything inside, but it would be kind of neat to say, hey, peppermints are the best. It's time for hot cocoa season. So those are the cards that look, with this same layout using the glimmer paper. This is the red from the red and green and gold. And then these are the in color ones. And then for my other samples, I have Nothing's Better Than Apple Season. It's a book fold, except maybe you. Isn't that lovely? And so this is the Forever Plaid in 3D embossing folder. So it does what I think I'll do when I do the next one. I mean, I like it that it shows a texture. It just kind of weakens it a little, if you will. So I might not emboss the top layer and might put a piece of maybe the two-tone red on top so it's not as heavy. But the leaves come from this die set too, so everything is there. So you got that one. This one I love, and Love You More Than, and I've got my little pie slices. Pumpkin pie. Love You More Than Pumpkin Pie. I love it. And this is a crochet 3D embossing folder, and this paper is the Latte Love designer paper. So that goes with it. And then this is also from Latte Love, and Nothing's Better Than Pumpkin Spice Latte. So I used my adhesive sheets for the words because the dies cut them out so thin. And these are the coffee dots that went with the latte sweet. And then Except Maybe You, I did a little blending and then stamped down the side with some pumpkin. So, and then this one, Nothing's Better Than Hot Cocoa and Peppermint Season. So I did some different stamping. There's like some marshmallows on my hot cocoa and my peppermints. I should put some green sprinkles on there. And then here's that Forever Plaid again. And this time I did the second layer. And then this came from the reindeer suite. So those are my samples. And let me just do a little bit of housekeeping real quickly, so I don't want to keep you too long. Okay, so we have a joining special in October. Between now and October 31st, you can join Stampin' Up and join my team of backyard stampers, and you would pay $99 but get $155 worth of products. Normally it's $125, so the October special is you get an extra $30. Plus you don't pay shipping. So it's a great time to start, and the way it's also the beginning of a quarter. So the way it works with the demonstrators are to stay active is you have a minimum of $300 before your discount. So $240 after your discount for every 3 months. So it's every quarter you have to have at least $240 after your discount, which is about $80 a month, or, one sweet collection a month. And to stay active, but they give you your first quarter for free, basically. So your first full quarter that would count is the January, February, and March quarter, plus the pending month of April. So even if you didn't buy another thing other than the starter kit, you would be active as a demonstrator until the end of April, which means you can be around for be able to pre-order during celebration, pre-order for the new catalog, the new annual catalog, and you also would be able to attend the on stage, which is in March. That is so fun. They used to call it convention, and now they call it on stage. But oh wow, is that fun! So that's housekeeping number one. Saturday is World Card Making Day, and you have to register for it. It's free, but in order to get the PDF of the projects they're going to show, they just want you to register. So it's just your name and email address. It's not anything to worry about, but you can scan the QR code and join me. And I also have that on my blog, backyardstamper.com. And then in October, they also have a sale on all of our kits. This does not include Paper Pumpkin. These are just the kits from our kits collection. So they have, a whole bunch of them to select from. I think on the website it was like 3 pages. But if you did use this sale and combine it with a starter kit sale, now you get to double up on your goodies, if you will. So anything that's discounted, even on the clearance rack, you can go in your starter kit. Your starter kit can be from the scrapbooking brochure, the annual catalog, the fall catalog, the new online exclusives, which just are going live in November, and we right now are allowed to pre-order. I was looking to see if I think I had my little flyer here for that. So all these goodies, I know little teeny tiny print, but all these goodies are now available for demonstrators to pre-order, and there's some really nice. I got the hibiscus one because I grow hibiscus here, so I love them. And so that's that. And then, so with my host code here, anyone that orders a $40 or more from my Stampin' Up store, which is kathyschmitt.stampinup.net, through the month of October, you have to use the host code. You will be eligible to get a free card class from me. And I haven't decided which stamp set I'm using. I think I'm going to use Reindeer Days. Other than that, I might use the Golden Greenery, because that paper is so gorgeous. And the thing about both of those is they both have matching DSP, so we can't supply stamped images, but we can supply in our card kit anything embossed, any die cuts, and any kind of DSP. So both of those have it. So one will be for October, one will be December. But at any rate, if you have any questions, please contact me, backyardstamper@gmail.com. It's been so fun to be with you tonight for my little pumpkin spice latte. And I will see you again next week. So take care, everyone.